This conference will now be recorded.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा। ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाहिल अलीयिल अज़ीम। 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 ला हौला वला कुव्वता إلا بالله العلي العظيم لا حول ولا قوة 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 إلا بالله العلي العظيم اللهم لك سجدي وطاعتي شكرا لله والحمد لله شكرا لله والحمد لله या अली मदद अजीज सर
या अली मदद, या अली मदद। बहुत खूब, बहुत खूब। सुभान अल्लाह, सुभान अल्लाह। तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद। मौला के मुबारक नाम से आगाज करते हैं। नूर मौलाना शाह करीमुल सैनी हाजिर इमाम, हाजिर इमाम। या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, अलयुल कय्यूम, अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा, अलयुल कय्यूम, अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा। या मौलाए मेहरबान, या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा, अलयुल कय्यूम, अली अल्लाह मदद फरमा। या मौला रहम कर, करम कर, फजल कर मौला। या मौला तौफीक, ताहीद, हिम्मत व यारी मौला। तौफीक, ताहीद, हिम्मत व यारी मौला। या मौला अपने नूर से हम गरीबों की मदद फरमा मौला। या मौला हमारे करीब आ जा मौला। अपना दस्त मुबारक हम गरीबों पर रख मौला, ताकि हम कोई इल्मी काम कर सके मौला। तेरी मदद की जरूरत है मौला। या मौला मेहरबान, या मौला मेहरबान मदद, या मौला मेहरबान मदद। मौला के मुबारक नाम पर सलावत पढ़े। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मदिन व आले मुहम्मद। Today we will read another Baitul Khiyal Farman of Hyderabad, India, November 18, 1992. The very first part of this Farman is almost same as the Farman we read previously. So we will read and we will move forward as that part already has been covered. But then there are some beautiful ilmi treasure in the rest of the Faramin. So we may learn from it. हम इसके पहले पैराग्राफ को पहले ही कवर कर चुके हैं। आज सिर्फ हम उसको पढ़ेंगे और आगे बढ़ेंगे और आप देखेंगे कि क्या इल्मी जवाहरात मौला ने इस फरमान में बिछाए हैं इंशाल्लाह। And the Imam has given them a symbol through which to search for the spiritual enlightenment. This tradition, although it is more common in Shah Islam than it is in Sunni Islam, exists in some practice of Sunni Islam also. In our tradition, it is a tradition of individual search. And because it is a matter which has to do with the spirit and not with the material world, it is individual in its practice, in this sense that you must not, when you sit in bandagi, bring to bear upon your thoughts matter of the world. यहाँ तक हमने पहले पढ़ा था और उसको समझा था कि किस तरह मौला फरमाते हैं कि ये प्रैक्टिस इस्लाम के अंदर खास करके शिया तरीके के अंदर मौजूद है और हमारे तरीके के अंदर ये जाती इंडिविजुअल प्रैक्टिस है। और जब हम इस प्रैक्टिस में बैठे तो याद रखें कि ये दुनिया की कोई चीज नहीं बल्कि ये बातीन की एक प्रैक्टिस है। और जब हम इसके अंदर बैठे यानी कि बंदगी के अंदर बैठे हैं तो हमारे जो ख्यालात हैं वो दुनिया के ख्यालात के अंदर नहीं, दुनिया की कंपैरिजन में नहीं, बल्कि बातीन के अंदर होने चाहिए। Now we'll come to the second paragraph. In spiritual matters, you have no capacity to instruct. So the first thing you have to understand is that when you sit in bandagi, you have to sit in humility. You have to sit in humility. You have to sit in peace. Half of paragraph कि जब आप इबादत में बैठते हैं तो याद रखें कि आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपका कोई इख्तियार नहीं है। ये बात बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपको कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको सिर्फ ह्यूमिलिटी के साथ, आजीजी के साथ, हम्बलनेस के साथ बैठना है और आपको आराम से, सुकून से बैठना है। You have no say so in the ibadat. Therefore, when you sit in ibadat, you must sit with humility, with the most humbleness. That part we have covered many times, but every time we cover, I believe it gives us more and more understanding of sitting in humility with the thought that what I'm about to do is out of my capacity, my power, human understanding. It is behind all of that. And whatever happens in ibadat, it's not up to me, but it all depends on mercy of the Imam. We have nothing to do with it. Meaning, make sure you understand that this is not in your power. With that humility, कि मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूं. I cannot do anything to achieve this goal until and unless Imam's mercy comes. There was a question other day that is there anything we can do? So Imam is clearly telling us what we can do. That is ajizi, humility. Verbally submission, sajda, giryawazari, asking him to have his mercy on us. And then when you sit in ibadat, Sit with completely peace. Just empty your mind. Empty your mind of thoughts and greed. What does it mean, greed? Don't sit in ibadat so you may have A, B, C. जब आप इबादत में बैठे हैं तो अपना दिमाग, अपना दिल तमाम ख्यालात से भी खाली करें और किसी लालच के बगैर। क्या मतलब है लालच के बगैर? कि ऐसा ना सोचे कि अगर मैं इबादत में बैठता हूं तो मुझे ये मिलना चाहिए। लीव ऑल ऑफ दैट आउट ऑफ योर माइंड। कंप्लीटली एम्प्टी, सुकून, पीस के अंदर बैठे। Verbally, what you can do before the ibadat? Sajda, submission, giryawazari. Talk to Mola Bapa that I understand that this is not in my hand, but you are my master, you are my Mola, and you are Rahman and Rahim. You are my father and mother. You can help me when your mercy, wish, and wants. Come to my help. I am like a child. Yam, oh my mother, oh my spiritual mother, oh my spiritual father, come to my help. मैं एक बच्चे की तरह हूं, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूं, तो मेरी प्यारी रूहानी माँ, मेरे प्यारे रूहानी बाप, कम, आओ, मुझे मदद करो। अपनी रहमत के साथ, खुशी के साथ मेरी मदद करो। या बिलुफ्त अफ्रीका अदरिक कनी, खुशी खुशी से, प्लीजिंग, with your pleasure, with your will, come. As I cannot come to you, you find me. You find me as I cannot find you. Have your mercy on me. Come close to me, hold my hand. Those are the Giryazari that will help you stay humble and will help you stay in peace, will help you, inshallah, find that closeness to the Imam and to the Nur. And that itself will bring peace and happiness in our heart. That conversation, inshallah. So let's go forward. You have to sit not thinking of worldly matters. You have to sit concentrating on Isme Azam that I will give you and try to avoid thinking of worldly matter. दुनिया की तमाम चीजों को छोड़कर आप सिर्फ अपने इसमें आजम पर तवज्जो दें। अपने इसमें आजम पर तवज्जो दें। इसमें आजम अगर आपके पास नक्श है तो आप उस नक्श के ऊपर ध्यान देकर और इसमें आजम को जान सकते हैं। अगर आपको नक्श नहीं मिला है और अगर आपने वो प्रैक्टिस कर ली है, यानी कि आपका इसमें आजम आपने ढूंढ कर उसको लिख कर उसको याद कर लिया है, अब आपको पता है कि आपका इसमें आजम किस तरह से वर्बली लिखा जाता है, ताकि आपके दिमाग में आपके सामने एक इसमें आजम हो लिखा हुआ और इसमें से आजम आपके जबान पर हो। I would like to add this to this class that In our classes couple of weeks before, someone had asked that how many different way can I concentrate on ball? आपको याद होगा एक आध दो हफ्ते कबल हमारे किसी भाई ने पूछा था कि कितनी अलग अलग तरीके से मैं अपने इसमें आजम पर तवज्जो दे सकता हूं. Think of our three main senses on our face. We have 5 senses. हमारे चेहरे पर 5 किस्म के महसूसात हैं. 5 kinds of attributions on our face. Eyesight, your breathing, your mouth, your ears, and then your skin, touch. 5 senses. Isme Azam can be practiced by 3 of those senses. 3 of those senses at the same time. अगर आपको याद होगा नाचीज ने आपसे इसमें आजम की प्रैक्टिस के लिए दरखास्त की थी कि दिन के वक्त आप अगर अकेले हैं, as I have emphasized, to help our brother and sister who like to perform the ibadat with their isme azam, that when you are alone, practice your isme azam in daytime, and you can practice by saying it loudly so you can hear, and write it down so you can see. You all remember that part. In the ibadat, during the ibadat, if you can have that name, the Isme Azam, which you have memorized by writing it down during the daytime, if you can imagine that, that will be part of your eyes. Your eyes will be closed, but you will see the Isme Azam because you practiced. अगर आपने ये काम नहीं किया है अभी तक, आपने उसकी प्रैक्टिस नहीं की है इसमें आजम की, आपने इसमें आजम को लिखकर उसको याद नहीं कर लिया है, then the request would be, humble opinion would be, to do so as soon as possible so it may help you tonight. आज ही वो आपकी मदद करे. Don't wait for tomorrow. Try if you are alone at home. If you have some minutes where you can have a privacy, write your Isme Azam and memorize it. Say your Isme Azam and listen to it. And let me tell you how it will help you. So now you are sitting in ibadat with your eyes closed, with your mouth closed, but you are saying your Isme Azam. You should be able to listen to your Isme Azam in your batin because you have practiced it during the day. Practice is very important. You can see it with your eyes. So now 3 of your senses, your eyes, you are looking at this Azam, your tongue, you are speaking of your Isme Azam, you are narrating your Isme Azam, and your ears, you can listen to your Isme Azam. You know what will be the benefit of that? Because you are so busy with your Isme Azam to look at it, to say it, to listen to it, all your other thoughts will go away because you don't have a time. You are too busy trying to imagine your Isme Azam. You are too busy saying your Isme Azam. You are too busy listening to your Isme Azam. Practice. Practice. This is the one single question and concern most of our brother and sister, our Jamati member, our friends have, that I cannot concentrate on ibadat. I cannot concentrate on bowl. This is the most effective and easiest way to keep your thoughts and concentrate on your bowl. There was one other thing, and that was speed of your bowl. How fast can you say your bowl? How fast can you say it? If it's a one single word, Isme Azam, for example, Ya Ali, Ya Allah, Ya Muhammad, or any of those one single name of Allah as the Isme Azam, you should be able to say it minimum of 120 times. एक और चीज इसके अंदर आप ऐड कर लें और वो है इसमें आजम की स्पीड, उसकी रफ्तार कितनी तेज होगी. अगर एक लफ्ज का इसमें आजम है तो कम से कम 120 मरतबा. अगर इज अ टू पार्ट, फॉर एग्जाम्पल या अली या मोहम्मद, या रहमान या रहीम, then between 60 and 80. Practice. It is doable. आप प्रैक्टिस करें, आराम से आप 120 को क्रॉस कर जाएंगे. And again, what it will do, because you are so concentrated on your bowl कि दुनिया के ख्याल सब चले जाएंगे. Because you will be so focused on your Isme Azam that there will be no time for any other worldly thought. And you are utilizing all of your three senses, your eyes, your tongue, and your ears, focusing on concentration on this Isme Azam. आपका जो नाक है वो तो खुद ही ब्रीथ कर रहा है, वो नाक आपका वैसे भी बिजी है. फिर एक ही चीज बच गई जो आपका टच का सेंस है. आपका टच का सेंस है. Otherwise, you are completely focused with your all five senses. And it requires practice. Practice during the daytime, apply it during the night time. एक ही चीज की जरूरत है और वो है उसकी प्रैक्टिस. आप दिन में उसकी प्रैक्टिस करें और रात को उसको इस्तेमाल करें. इंशाल्लाह. Ali Allah is so great. Mola is so merciful. Ask him to be near you so he may help you. He may walk you on this path. Inshallah. We are not too far from him and his Didar and his Noor. Inshallah. Let's come to the second. Mullah says, secondly, in order for the bandagi to be successful or to have the highest chance of being successful, bandagi is performed at the time when most people are asleep. It is difficult to perform bandagi regularly. It is tiring. It is demanding. इबादत अर्ली मॉर्निंग रखने का जो मकसद था उसमें दो चीजें, एक कि रात के वक्त आवाज साउंड सुकून होता है, दूसरा कि अगर आप सीरियस हैं इबादत के लिए तो आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे और अपनी नींद और वक्त की कुर्बानी देंगे. The part of early morning ibadat has two facets. One, because at that time the sound waves are at its minimum level, at the minimum level, and at the same time it requires the kurbani of your time and your sleep. So what you are saying, Ya Mullah, I am willing to give my time and my sleep, my comfort, as I promised to you in return for the Isme Azam. Because that's the contract, that's the bayat, that's the promise. That Ya Mullah, if you give us Isme Azam, we will give you our time and we are serious and we will give you the kurbani of our sleep and comfort. मुला को ये कुर्बानी बहुत पसंद है क्योंकि that shows that you are serious in your promise that you made with Imam. Because Imam asked when we were sitting at the bowl ceremony, are you here with your free will? Are you here because you want to perform ibadat? Are you here because you wanted to elevate your soul? Are you serious about this? Because this is a serious matter. If not, Mullah say you can leave happily and I will not hold that against you. And we said that yes, Mullah Baba, we are here because we want to progress, we wanted to elevate our soul. That is the promise. And return, Imam gave you Isme Azam. And Mullah said, yes, one, you cannot do that. You do ibadat one night and not the next night, 1 week and not the next week, 1 month and not the next month. It doesn't work. Just like any sports player, if he's going to be good at his game, what does he do? He practices regularly. He practices regularly. Those students, they study regularly because they wanted to be good in their exam. Just like that, ibadat is the demanding, is the tiring, but it must be done every day, every night, regularly. Yeah, if you are sick, not because of the laziness, not because of the laziness. I personally know people who work until midnight but still wake up in time for ibadat because they are serious about their commitment they made to the Imam. Just like doesn't matter how tired you are, you wake up on time to go to work, right? You don't say, oh, I'm tired, I'm not going to go to work today. You never skip your meal. You never skip your work. Just like that, be serious about your ibadat. Ibadat is the only one thing, only one thing that is keeping us close to Imam. Imam in his own Farman, the new Farman book that we have now, read that. It says, just coming to Jamaat Khana every day and performing dua does not make you mu'min. Because that is part of our Shariat, which is faraz, which is compulsory, and you must perform that. But that is only the first step of our tariqah, of our Shariat. Ibadat is the one single action key that keeps us close to the Imam. Because Isme Azam is the link between you and your Mullah. One single link, Isme Azam, that keeps you in connection with Imam. आपका इसमें आजम एक ऐसी रस्सी है जो आपको आपके इमाम के साथ जोड़ के रखती है. Don't disconnect that connection that you have individually with your Mola. It's like you have a direct line to the Imam's home, Imam's phone, Imam's Noor. That's a direct line. How, if you think about it, would you ever disconnect intentionally or willingly that line? No, there's a one single line with your soul to the Imam's soul. Remember that. When you remember that, it will give you that strength, that courage. Doesn't matter how tired you are, you will not let your Mola wait there for you. Mola is waiting for you. He comes and he stand by, regardless of you wake up or not. He is keeping his promise. He comes and he stands next to you. Don't let him wait. मौला आपके पलंग के पास आके खड़ा होता है रोजाना. आप सोए हुए हैं जागते हैं, वो आपके हाथ में है, आपकी फ्री विल है. इंतजार ना कराएं मौला को. जब मौला पुकारे जवाब दें, क्योंकि मौला ने आपको एक डायरेक्ट लिंक दी हुई है इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इसमें आजम. It is demanding, but remember, it is you who have chosen to seek इसमें आजम. मतलब बोलते हैं ये जरूर टायरिंग है, डिमांडिंग है, लेकिन आपकी चॉइस थी. आपने ये फैसला किया था. It was you who had made that commitment and chosen to seek इसमें आजम and to have access to the practice of bandagi, access to your batin, access to the noor of the Imam. It is your decision. You see, Mullah saying free will is with you. It is your decision. आपके इख्तियार में था और आपने डिसाइड किया कि मुझे ये काम करना है. If you make that decision, then keep true and respect that decision. अगर आप ये डिसीजन लेते हैं, आपको ईमानदारी से, रिस्पेक्टफुली इस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पर अमल करना होगा. Because that's the promise that you made to Imam, and in return Imam made that promise to you that if you keep your promise, I will keep my promise. And be as regular as you can in bandagi. What it means, if you are sick, if you are traveling, or if you are working at night, we have our sisters, especially nurses, doctors. Sometimes they have a evening night duty. Then they can skip that one night or so. But remember, when time comes, you can say your Isme Azam. Don't forget that. Inshallah, Mullah is so merciful that He will accept your niyat and your ibadat. Think of the Isme Azam as a link between each murid and the Imam of the time. The link we talked about, direct connection. How amazing is that? That we, Garib, nobody, we have a direct connection. Mullah Bapa has given us his phone number. Say, call on this number, call on this Isme Azam, and I will reply. I will answer. I will come to you. I will stand by you. How amazing is that? Think of Isme Azam as a link between each murid and the Imam of the time, and essentially the light of the Imam of the time. ना सिर्फ इमाम से आपका डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन है, बल्कि हकीकत में नूर से आप कनेक्ट हो गए हैं. इमाम इन वेरी विजडमफुल वर्ड, बहुत ही हकीमाना अंदाज में फरमाते हैं कि ये इसमें आजम जो है ना, वो आपका डायरेक्ट लिंक है नूर के साथ. नूर के साथ. How amazing is that? Just thinking of that gives us so much happiness and peace. Look at how merciful Imam is. No one in the world can say that they have a living Noor close to them, who can speak to them, who can give them the Isme Azam. None other but us. That itself is a blessing of the Imam on our soul. That we were born with this tariqah, with Imam, with this Noor. How fortunate we are, inshallah. Mullah says, the light of the Imam of the time, and therefore the light of Hazrat Ali. Light of the Imam, light of Ali. Noor-e Imam, Noor-e Ali. Make that link shorter through your life. इस रस्सी को अगर हम इतना दूर है आज, कोशिश करें कि कम से कम फासला हो आपके और इमाम के दरमियान में, आपके और दीदार के दरमियान में, आपके और नूर के दरमियान में. क्या मतलब है उसका? इसका मतलब यह है कि आप करीब आ जाएं. मुल्ला फरमाते हैं, क्यों दूर खड़े हुए हैं? You know, it reminds me of one of the event back in 1946 with the 48th Jama, when Jamaat went for Isme Azam. Mullah Bapa said, why are you sitting so far away? Come closer. So Jamaat came about a foot or two closer. Mullah said again, why are you sitting so far? Come closer. Come closer. And Imam keeps saying that until there was no space left. No space left between Imam's feet and Murid's feet. यानी कि जमात का जो बैठे हुए थे, उनके जो टुकने थे, वो इमाम के पांव से लग रहे थे, टच कर रहे थे. मुरीद के हाथ इमाम के पांव को टच कर रहे थे. Imam said, don't be far away, come closer, come closer. Ye symbolically, Imam was saying, come closer to my Noor, come closer to my Noor. Why are you standing far away? I want you to come closer to my Noor. Come so close to my Noor that you can see, you can touch, you can feel, and it will light your batin. Don't stand far away. This example telling us that Imam truly wants us to be close to him, close to his Noor. And that is what Imam wish for us. We have to do that in return and come closer and closer to the Noor of Imamat, inshallah. So Imam says, make that link shorter through your lives. Remember that if you practice bandagi regularly, I will change the bowl later on, and inshallah, on that last day, there will be light only for you. No material consideration, light only. Such a beautiful, wisdomful way of teaching for the Jamaat. I will give you bowl. Only thing you have to do is practice. When I come back again, if you come back again, I will give you another bowl. Even if you are not successful, I will bless you with another bowl. Only thing you have to do, be regular in your bandagi. Be regular in your bandagi. And on that day, now there are two interpretations of this last line. Though understanding समझ है आखिरी लाइन से, जहां पर मौला फरमाते हैं कि उस आखिरी दिन आप सिर्फ नूर में होगे दुनिया को छोड़कर. There are two understanding, two interpretation, and I only can give my most humble, poor opinion. That is true. If you do ibadat regularly, and the day you die, you will emerge in the Noor with the Imam. But that is for everyone. I wanted to give my own humble opinion. And this is just my humble opinion. One can take it, accept it, or leave it. Actually, this line is identifying that day, the day that you will find that Noor individually. Individually. Imam is speaking of that day. The day you are successful in your ibadat, the day you receive this Noor, Mullah says, on that day you will see that you will emerge in the Noor and there will be nothing but the Noor. Nothing but the Noor. And it would be nothing like this worldly thing. That day, within your lifetime. Within your lifetime. Because the most happiest day, the Laylatul Qadr for you, the day of Eid for you, all of the Navroz for you, is the day that that Noor will touch you. The day you will become one with the Noor. Is it doable? 100%. क्या ये हम कर सकते हैं अपनी जिंदगी में? 100% कर सकते हैं. How can I say it was with so much confidence? Because my Mola is so Rahman and Rahim. He would never ever break his promise. He has given us the Isme Azam with his Khana Vadan, with his mercy, with his Dua Ashish, and Imam has promised that he will stand next to you and he will walk with you. He will hold your hand. My Mola will never make a promise and break. चूंकि मौला के ऊपर ईमान है और मेरा मौला इतना रहमान और रहीम है कि उसने जब वादा किया तो उसको पूरा करेगा, कभी भी नहीं तोड़ेगा. 101% पॉसिबल हमारी जिंदगी में इस नूर के साथ एक होना. 101%. इस यकीन के साथ अगर हम चलेंगे तो इंशाल्लाह हम अनकरीब इमाम के नूर की बरकत को देखेंगे. Thank you everyone. Let's stop here. This Farman is beautiful. If you have time, please read. Otherwise, we will continue on this Farman from this line. यहाँ से शुरू करेंगे इंशाल्लाह next week. जी.
Subhanallah, sir, Subhanallah. Friends, if you have any question, please share in the chat room. Sir, we have one question in the chat. When Maulana Hazimam gave Isme Azam to when Maulana Hazimam gave Isme Azam to us in hall, there were ALWAAZ present. We were told to practice the Isme Azam by speech, but were told we are not allowed to write it down as this will be breaking Maula's rule. Can you give comments on this?
Sure. All right. So remember the word that Nachis use when you are alone in your private time and privacy. जब आप अकेले हो और आप अकेले आराम से किसी डिस्टरबेंस के बगैर. During the daytime, you can write down the Isme Azam, or you can look up in the Quran, in the book, so you can have that image of the Isme Azam in your mind. When they tell you not to write it down, because there has been event where people will write it down and then they will leave it loosely for others to find it. You don't want to do that. आपने देखा कि एक उन लोगों के लिए बात होती है जो लापरवाह हैं. वो लिखकर वो भूल जाते हैं, इधर उधर छोड़ देते हैं, दूसरों को उठा लेते हैं वो. If you write it down, and I have suggested that in one of the session when we had those 5 or 7 sessions on Isme Azam and Bandagi. If you do write it down, make sure that you tear it down and put it in shredder. अगर आप लिखते हैं तो उसको बाद में dispose कर दें. Don't leave it for others to read. Or find it in a book, in the Quran, so you can memorize that. ये इसमें आजम मौला ने आपको दिया है, ये आपका हो गया. आप इसको लिख लें, आप इसको याद कर लें, आप इसको किताब में ढूंढ लें, आप इसको कुरान के अंदर ढूंढ लें. When ALWAAZ they are giving instruction, they are generally speaking, because there are people who are not careful, वो लापरवाह होते हैं, वो लिख कर भूल जाते हैं, छोड़ देते हैं. To prevent that, they tell you, try not to do that. And trust me, there is no Mullah's Farman that tells you not to do that. Matter of fact, Mullah wants you to use all the tools possible to remember that Isme Azam. because Mullah wants you to be successful. And you have to use all the tools available to you. Matter of fact, and I'm going to give you an example. We had a couple come to us right after recent almost 3 years ago now, when Isme Azam was given by Mullah Bapa during the Jubilee, that they went and the Isme Azam was pretty hard and they were not able to remember the Isme Azam. They forgot. Now, of course, ALWAAZ, you can go to their ALWAAZ that was in their hall. They will not tell you the Isme Azam. You can go to the person sitting next to you. They will not tell you that Isme Azam. So how do you find that Isme Azam? There are only few in Jamaat who can help you. Only few people can help you. Help is available, but you have to find those right people. And let me teach you how to do that, because this cannot be limited to me or those people. It was so easy that you will be surprised. So we said, without asking him any question, we told him, don't say anything, don't change your facial expression, don't stop us. And while we were reading, we asked them not to, we were not looking at their face either, because we did not want to know what was their Isme Azam. So we went into the Quran and we started to read those 99 names of Allah. And we repeated one time, we repeated twice, and then we closed the book, and then we looked at them and we said, we wish and pray that you found your Isme Azam. If you have found it, and if you had the book in your hand, because they also had the Quran in their hand, you had made a good note of that Isme Azam, so you may not forget later on. And when you go home, open the book again and look at that Isme Azam, practice this Isme Azam again and again and again. And next time when you have a doubt, open the book again. Memorize that word in your mind so you never forget. Remember on which page, at what number, because they are all numbered 1 through 99. Remember what number your Isme Azam was. You see, Imam wants to make it easier for us, not harder for us. So there is a teaching of a children, and then there is a teaching of the adult. I am hoping that we are all adults here. In this session, we have no children. We are all adult. What it means? That we are those responsible Jamaat, that they will not write Isme Azam for others to discover. They will use it wisely. They will remember it wisely. That's why the key point was, when you are alone in your privacy, in your private room, only then practice that, write it down, remember that, and then dispose of it. G.
So you have another question. What if off and on practice and not successful? Should one go for promotion after taking bowl and after many years?
100%. All right. So I would request some of our friends who were not in those session of the Ibadat Bandagi and Isme Azam. There are few sessions very, very effective sessions were done on Isme Azam and Bowl and Bandagi. Imam is so merciful that he wants to give his children a gift, a reward, gift of Dua Ashish and reward of Isme Azam. Again, this is just my very humble, poor opinion. You can take it or you can leave it. If you are asking me, every time Imam comes, if Imam comes every year, I will go every year. If Imam comes every year, I will go every year. Because I am thirsty and hungry and needy of his khana vadan, his blessing. Because when you go to Imam, it is the blessings and the khana vadan and the didar and the mercy that we need to be successful in Isme Azam. You don't have to be successful to go back. You can go back if you are successful, which is fine. But I myself personally, Imam is taking effort to come to the Jamaat to bless them. Which murid will not want Imam's blessing? आप समझ गए? इमाम इतनी तकलीफ लेकर हमें अपने नूर से नवाजने के लिए, अपनी रहमत से नवाजने के लिए तशरीफ फरमा होते हैं. कौन मुरीद होगा बोलेगा मुझे इमाम की दुआ आशीष की जरूरत नहीं है? कौन होगा ऐसा जो ऐसा बोलेगा? Think. Our tariqa is a tariqa of logic and intellect. And the logic is saying, if Imam wants to bless you as a murid, why would you not go? You see, logic, intellect. And yeah, if you don't need Imam's blessing, but I am garib and poor, I need Imam's khana vadan. I would go every single time, definitely. Even if Imam comes every year, I will go every single year. Because I am the needy, so poor, so garib, that I need his blessing every day. Every chance that I can get, I will take it. G.
Sir, we have one friend who raised a hand, last question. Ji, Nurjan Hajiani Saiba, if you have any question, please go ahead, unmute your device. जी नूरजान हजियानी साहिबा, आपको अगर सवाल पूछना है तो आप अपना डिवाइस जो है वो अनम्यूट कर लें.
Okay, anyone else?
Any other friends, if you have any question, please unmute your device.
या अली मदद सर.
या अली मदद.
सर अली का नूर और इमाम का नूर, इसको थोड़ा और एक्सप्लेन करो ना सर प्लीज.
जी, जब हम कहते हैं अली का नूर, एंड आई विल एक्सप्लेन दिस इन इंग्लिश फॉर आवर इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग फ्रेंड. जब हम कहते हैं अली का नूर, तो हमारी तवज्जो कहाँ जाती है? वो अली जो 1400 साल पहले आया था, या वो अली जो हमारे सामने बैठा हुआ है? इमाम अपनी आजीजी में फरमाते हैं कि ये नूरे इलाही है, ये नूरे अली है. एक्चुअली इमाम अपने नूर की तरफ इशारा करते हुए फरमाते हैं कि मेरे अंदर वही नूर है जो अली के अंदर था, बल्कि मेरे अंदर वही नूर है जो इब्राहिम के अंदर था, मेरे अंदर वही नूर है जो आदम के अंदर फूका गया था। लेकिन इमाम अपनी आजीजी में हमें समझाते हैं, क्योंकि हम बार बार हमारी तवज्जो उस अली पर जाती है जो 1400 साल पहले आया था, जबकि अली ज़मान हमारे सामने बैठा हुआ है। इस बात पर तवज्जो दिलाने के लिए इमाम बहुत ही विजडमफुल, हकीमाना अल्फाजों को इस्तेमाल करते हैं। For our English speaking friend, my sister was asking a question that in the Farman it says the Noor-e Imamat and then it says Noor-e Ali. How do we understand this? So my answer to her was that Imam is reminding us that the very Noor of Ali Murtaza is in the Imam of the time. Matter of fact, not that Ali which was 1400 years ago, but Ali Zaman who is in front of you, and this is his Noor in the Imam Zaman. Not only that, the same Noor which was in the Ibrahim and the same Noor which was blown into the Adam Zaman, the very Noor is present in front of you in the form of Imam Zaman. So when we think of Ali, we should not have to go too far in the history back, but think of the Ali Zaman in front of us. Ji.
And इमाम का नूर सर?
जी सेम, एक ही नूर है। रिमेम्बर, नूर दो नहीं है, नूर तो एक ही है ना। आप उसको इमाम का नूर कहें, पैगंबर का नूर कहें, अल्लाह का नूर कहें, वो नूर कहें जो आदम के अंदर फूका था, एक ही नूर है, एक ही नूर है। इमाम के अंदर जो नूर है वही नूर अली के अंदर भी था, वही नूर इब्राहिम के अंदर भी था, वही नूर आदम के अंदर फूका गया था, वही नूर तमाम पैगंबरों में भी है। बल्कि अगर कोई मोमिन सक्सेसफुली नूर को पाता है तो वो भी एक ही नूर होगा। नूर एक ही है, नूर दो नहीं है, एक नूर है। नूर इज ओनली वन। The very Noor that Allah breathed into Adam, the very Noor Allah gave to the Ibrahim, very Noor of Ali Murtaza is the Noor of the Imam today. Ji.
Then what is the ruh or nur which is in each individual human being?
Are you talking about soul and the light?
Yes.
Okay. So individually, for our teaching and learning, and I will try to make it as easier as possible for us to understand. The soul in us is from the universal soul of the Imam. Right? So this part is easy. That the soul in us is the soul from the universal soul of the Imam. Just like that, the light around this soul is the light of the Imam's Nur or his ocean of the Nur. So if you can think of a soul, let's say this is the soul and this is the Nur which is on top of it. When I say in the top of it, it's just for the teaching purposes, because Nur is ever penetrating, ever penetrating. So when I say this is the soul and this is the Nur on top of it, it sounds like it's only outside of it. Actually, is inside of it, is in front of it, is on top of it, is on the bottom of it, is on the back of it, is everywhere. Because Nur is penetrating. आप समझ गए ना कि रूह के ऊपर नूर है, इसका मतलब नहीं है सिर्फ ऊपर है, क्योंकि नूर जो है ना वो हर जाई है। जब वो हमारी सोल को टच करता है तो उसके अंदर चला जाता है। अब वो उसके अंदर भी है, ऊपर भी है, नीचे भी है, सामने भी है, पीछे भी है, उसको पूरा अपने अंदर ले लेता है।
And how can one
On
elevate?
the
Okay.
highest level, अभी जो हमारी explanation थी, the explanation I just gave is on the day one. As we emerge and elevate our soul, and the day that we are fana fi imam, we will discover all of the sudden, or we can learn today, or we can discover tomorrow, that actually Imam's soul and the Imam's nur is one and the same. In the story of Adam, Allah says, I breathed my soul into him. And earlier I said, Allah breathed his nur into him. So I was talking from this point, not from this point. I was talking from the highest level, not from the lowest level. On the lower level, Allah breathed his soul into him. At the highest level, Allah breathed his nur into him. One last example, and then you can ask more questions if you like. When Imam comes for the Isme Azam, he breathes his soul into us at this level. What about at this level? Imam breathes his nur into us. That's why it is so important for us to have the ilme hakiki. That is so important for us to understand the ilm of the Imam and understand the Faramin of the Imam. Otherwise, Farman is right in front of you. You don't need me. The Quran is in front of you. You don't need Mola Bapa. The Ginan is in front of you. You don't need peace. Or do we? The reason we need the teacher, reason we need the guide, because so he can explain the Tawil of the Quran, Tawil of the Farman, Tawil of the Ginan. Understanding of this is very, very important, because we can learn from this position as a child, or we can learn from the highest level possible. G. Any other comments or question?
I have a question that I think you've addressed already, but just for some clarification. So we get this question oftentimes in these sessions about promotion, and there's a view that one should feel a sense that they have somehow been successful before going to promotion, and then another side that says if you are sincere and have been regularly doing your ibadat, then you can also go for promotion if Imam comes to give promotion. And I think when we read the Baitul Farman, sometimes we will see that the Imam does simply says that if you are regular, then I will give you a promotion. Or if you practice your bandagi regularly, I will give you a promotion. And then in some other places, the Imam also joins with that if you are successful, I will give you a promotion. But nowhere does it say that only if you're successful. And I think maybe perhaps that the one part that seems to be sometimes forgotten or maybe not emphasized enough is that perhaps there's two understandings of those who go for promotion. That simply, yes, it could be those who have attained some success. They know they're ready for promotion, so they'll go. The other category seems to be those who are sincerely can say that they've regularly practiced. Because Imam says, if you regularly come for Baitul Kal or regularly practice your ibadat, I will give you promotion. And since we know that the Imam has also said that you are already in success when you're sitting, so that question just becomes void about I've not become successful, because Imam says when you're sitting in ibadat, you're already in success. So those who are regularly coming to ibadat are successful in that sense, and for that sense they can go for promotion, and they're legitimately, there should be no feeling that they're there unnecessarily or that I should not go. But I think the emphasis should be in this part about the sincerity, meaning if someone is regularly practicing or not. And that can mean different things to different people, what their schedule is like or what they truly in their heart feel. But I think the issue is if one is practicing one day and then leaves it for months and months and practices one day, perhaps there might be a difference there. But only they can answer that, right? No one can tell them, are you going for promotion or not? So I think that probably understand the two concepts of sincerely practicing that you know in your heart you've done as much as you can to practice, and of course those who have felt maybe some sort of elevation that they want to go. There's two understandings of promotion, perhaps, if that's accurate.
That is correct. The way I look at it, and because my job or duty to the friends is to give them the most easiest understanding. So I'm going to use one more example that when we work hard, so inshallah one day we are self-sufficient. Do we stop working hard if we do not work become self-sufficient? No, we continue to work, right? So in two different ways we work. If we are sufficient, we continue to work. We are not sufficient, we continue to work. Just like that in ibadat, because we are needy, garib, and Imam is coming and saying that come, I want to bless you. I wanted to reward you. I wanted to give you something. Come. Who will say no to an extra paycheck? Who will say no to an extra paycheck? Nobody, right? Imam is saying, come, let me give you one more blessing, one more reward. Let me make you rich in Isme Azam. Let me make you rich in blessing. Who will say no to that? No logical person will say no to that. No logical person. So look at it this way, that your Mola is so merciful. He loves you so much. He
Aziz,
is your
you
mother and father. He wants to give you extra blessing. He wants to give you extra bonus. He wants to give you his love, his nur again and again until you are successful. So if you are successful, you want to be more successful. If you are not successful, you want to be successful. And regardless of you are successful or not, you are rich in your ibadat or not, regardless of that, the love for the imam and the need of the mercy of the imam must be so great that it should never stop you from going in the front of the imam and take all his mercy into you. See, that is his thought process that I like to learn, I like to teach, and our friends need to learn. Because doesn't matter what other people tell you. Use the logic. Use the logic. And don't listen to me either. Use your own logic, your own intellect. If your boss tells you that I'm going to give you extra paycheck. Would you take it? If your answer is yes, then Imam is telling you, let me give you extra bonus. Let me give you extra dua ashish. Let me give you an extra bowl. Why would you say no to that? G. All right, let's make one last question and then we can stop.
याली मदद
या अली मदद.
अभी कभी अपन सोचते हैं कि अपन खुद नहीं सब वो ही है तो वो है तो फिर अपन कौन है
मैं मेरी बात कर सकता हूँ
जी
कि जो वो है वो मैं हूँ, जो मैं हूँ वो है, क्योंकि मैं उसी की रूह हूँ और वो मेरी रूह है. Does this answer your question? Kamran Sahib, do we have any other comments or question, or should we stop here?
So we don't have any questions in the chat.
Was Dr. Sahib trying to say something earlier? I thought I heard his voice.
No, I think it wasn't the Dr. Sahib.
Okay. Shukar Alhamdulillah. Thank you everyone. Inshallah. Ali Allah is so grateful, so merciful. Mola is so loving that he wants all of us to have the best of the ilm, the didar and the nur. Keep your faith on him, inshallah. He's so close to you. His nur will touch your heart soon within this lifetime. May Mola be Mehban on all of us. Thank you everyone. Yali Madad, Yali Madad,
Yali Madad, and thank you.
Yali Madad, sir.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad,
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad,
Yali Madad, Aziz.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad, Yali Madad.